Testing, testing. Okay. Hi, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Looe Island project update and general creative adventuriness. So happy new year to you and all that jazz. I hope that you had some opportunity over Christmas and New Year to do a little bit of creativeness, whatever form that came in. I wanted to start today's or this latest update with introducing this year's magical animal, which is Timmy. The cat of confidence. And Timmy says, I can read that. The way to confidence is by doing the doings, so go do. So here I am doing the doings, and oh, that's Cerys, my dog, barking. I'll just see what she's barking about. 1 second. And I'm back, and guess what? That was actually Cerys barking at Timmy, the cat, who features on the postcard I just showed you. Timmy, the cat. And oh, I've lost my train of thought now. Yes, before I go into the magical animals, actually, let's just skip back a little bit. I got too excited. I would like to say thank you to everybody that's given me feedback on these little update films I've been creating. I really appreciate it. As a bit of a test, when I was getting the postcard printed, like with lots of companies, they'll show you what your design could look like on different products. And they had a few shown on the mugs, and I thought, actually, I quite like that. So I've had a few made up. I'll put the details in the link below if you'd be interested in in having some. I've been doing them since 2020, and the previous year's animals have been, so last year it was Melissa, the bat of courage. That was last year's magical animal. And then the year before that we had the owl of opportunity, Jazzy. And the first one I did was Sandy, the goat of determination. And these animals all basically stem from a trip. So I went to Morocco in 2013 and visited Yves and Laurent's amazing house and gardens in Marrakech. And while we were there, exploring around his gallery, and it's a really fascinating place. I'll splice in some pictures. One of the things that he used to do was he would produce a postcard every year, which he would send to his friends and family and clients. And this was the one he did from 1973. And every year the theme for his postcards was love. So there's a whole range of different designs, each one different for every year. And this is what inspired me to start doing my own New Year's postcards, really, because I thought it was such a lovely idea to have a postcard, sending it out to people, and something that would last longer than a Christmas card, because it's lovely to get Christmas cards, but obviously they last a certain length of time. And I thought it'd be nice to have something that you can have pinned on your wall all year round and hopefully give a little boost, make you smile, and have a little bit of motivation. And I'd started drawing magical animals quite a few years beforehand, and it dawned on me that actually I could combine the two. Each year do a magical animal, give it a superpower, and that would be the Magical Island for the year. I have written the script. Yay! The script is done. I have done it. I've got notes on it that I've written as I was working through and updating, making a couple of tweaks to it, but it's done finally. So I finished it actually before Christmas, and I also started working on my storyboard, which at the moment is on post-it notes, because I had a really good tip from a friend who's an animator who said do it all on post-it notes and then you can move it all around if you need to retweak the story. So that's what I've done. So I've got very, very basic drawings of the story. There's my map of where Looe is, and I like the Smugglers. Oh yeah, there we go. Smuggler's Cottage. Zoltan, who you can actually just see there in the background. And that is, oh, and the sisters. A very quick representation of my storyboard to get me going with that. So I made really good progress, and then just before Christmas, like a lot of people, got poorly, got the lurgy. I know I wasn't alone with having that, and I was also finishing off Christmas presents, getting Christmas things done, Christmas food shopping, and so on. So things ground to a little bit of a halt while all the Christmasness and New Year things were happening. But it was good actually to have a clean break and a proper rest, because I felt really invigorated then, starting back up again, and really excited about turning this now into the film. The other exciting things that really happened were when I was looking into, oh, I just need a little sip of tea, hang on. When I started looking into music that I could use for my island film, probably jumping ahead slightly, I found a composer who'd actually been inspired to write some music inspired by his visits to Looe Island. And I really loved some of the tracks he'd created, and I thought they would be perfect if I could use them on the film. So I messaged him and I told him what I was doing and what I was creating, and he's given me permission to use some of his music. Amazing. I will I'll add a little bit of it into this film now, so you can hear a little bit of it. Yeah, so that's really exciting, really exciting. And the other thing is, when I let's see if I'm a bit all over the shop. I got the latest copy. I got a new version of the stop motion book by Susanna Shaw. I actually bought this for myself as a birthday present in November. With all the postal strikes and everything, I didn't get it actually until I think it was the day before Christmas Eve, something like that. So I've started to have a read of it, and it's really good. It's really good. And it means that I can refer back to that when I get a bit stuck with things, because as you know, I'm learning as I go, really. I'm learning as I go. But the thing that's funny, I actually met Susanna Shaw at the Curzon in Clevedon. I'd gone there for a sale. They were having a sale of old cinematic equipment, and I thought there may be some bits and pieces that I could use for stop motion. Went along. It was really quite busy. A lot of the small stuff had already sold. Ended up chatting to a lady there whose son was an animator. We got chatting about different animation festivals, things he'd been putting his films into, so that was really great. And then she mentioned that the CEO of Curzon was an animator, an animation background, and then she mentioned her name was Susanna Shaw. I got very excited because I had a copy of her book, one of the older editions that I borrowed from the library, and the lady said, oh, she's downstairs. And I got very excited and I said, can I meet her? Went down, met her, and I was quite starstruck, and I probably I was a bit, my brain went into dazed mode. So I did have lots of things I wanted to ask her, but I was just too surprised at the randomness of meeting her. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind me getting in touch if I needed to ask her things. So yeah, she was quite happy. She wasn't put off by my craziness, so that was really good. So that was also exciting. And the other thing is, just before Christmas also went into one of the bookshops in Bath and saw this book. It's just came out last year. And I thought, oh, Island's House, what's that about? And it's actually about the couple who bought, or who, yeah, I think they bought Island House. I've only just started reading it, on Looe Island. And they lived there for, they've still got the house there. And that is the big house here. So it's about this house. The other thing I wanted to share is a recent purchase from charity shop. I'd been looking for some tapestry frames because I had an idea to put the quilt onto something I could roll to create the background scenery moving. So I'd been looking for tapestry frames for that and thought I'll wait and see if I could find something in a charity shop. And I found some, so I got these two. So I got this one, which is the smallest one, and also a larger one, which I got both of them for £7.50. Amazing. So that's really great that I've now got those. Two other things that I have been doing that I've been finding really helpful. I've recently started joining the Writers' Hour, which is run by the London Writers' Saloon, and they do 4 sessions a day, Monday to Friday. I think they also do some on the weekend, but I've only joined the ones in the week. And they have different levels of membership. So at the moment I've joined the free membership, and it's lovely. I love it. I have been able to join Writers' Hours. So they do one 8 till 9 in the morning, 1 till 2, 4 till 5, and then 9 till 10 in the evening for different time zones around the world. And it's just such a lovely, lovely space. And by joining that, I've finished a newsletter that I started last November. If you signed up to our newsletter, you'll have got the newsletter, blog post. I finished doing my script and tweaking my script. I also, yesterday, finally started on the book that's going with this project. I hadn't realised that I'd actually written as much as I had. When I opened up the document, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to start from zero. I can't remember writing anything about any of my islands. It's been such a long time. I've really been struggling for many reasons, I think. Probably quite a lot of it is to do with lack of confidence and low self-esteem in terms of finishing something like this, something as big as this, which in part is why I've got Timmy the Cat of Confidence for this year to help me do the doings and finish this project. And I've actually written pretty much all of the first draft of the chapters. I will need to add in the creative part about, so I've written each chapter pretty much. I think there's 3 chapters I haven't written about some of the islands. I need to review those and also add in what each island inspired me to create, because that's what makes this the project for me, is about yes, I've visited these places which are so interesting, but then what has that inspired me to make in response to the island, and how could you then go and do your own creative adventures and have your own creative experience, I suppose, from traveling and exploring. the Helsinki bus theory is all about staying on the bus when you hit a bit of a challenge or you feel like you're not getting anywhere creatively. And the theory comes from the idea that the Helsinki bus routes, all the buses start off from the same place and they all go in the same direction for quite a long time. But at a certain point, they all veer off to different places, to remote areas. And if you stay on the bus and you get past the familiarity, or you get through the boredom, or you get through the stuckness, and you keep going and you stay on the bus, that is when the exciting things will happen, the things which probably uncover your creative voice, and things that are original to you will flourish. So I am staying on the bus. I will put the link to that in the notes below. And also, I can't remember the name of the person. I think it was a photographer who actually originally came up with the theory, and it's been written about in lots of different books, I think, since then. But it really resonated with me because I have spent a lot of my life getting on a bus and then getting off the bus too quickly. But not anymore. I'm staying on the bus. The bus is the Creative Adventurers bus. I'm on it, and yeah, do you want to get on the Creative Adventurers bus with me? And let's have some creative adventures together. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. I am sure there's probably lots of things I could tell you, but I think let's go with that for now, and then I'll do another update once I have got some more things to share and some more footage for you. Okay, take care. See you soon. Bye.